and 6th in QBR as a backup now. Dolphins 3-1 in their last 4, coming off a bye as they host the Rams today. Miami, a game and a half behind the Bills in the AFC East, so the pressure's on for Tua today. Jeff Darlington knows all about it, and no surprise here, he's in the warm weather, probably wearing some flip-flops down there. I won't ask. Jeff, what's the latest on Tua in his first start?
Sam, exactly where I should be, here in South Florida. And look, Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick both seated on the bench together, putting to rest any wonder about if there was any dissension, any issues, as we saw some comments of frustration from Fitzpatrick last week. But we should also point out here that this organization right now is fully behind the idea of putting Tua out there. Wide receiver Preston Williams saying, we're as excited about Tua getting his first start as everybody else outside of this building. He's been looking very good in practice. Now, internally, I've spoken to people who have essentially said, like, we want to tamper expectations, but we also want people to understand here that we believe Tua is ready for this situation. And if you look at some of the past games, yes, Ryan Fitzpatrick did play well at times this season, but they believe the ceiling of this team is such that they can reach even greater heights. It will take Tua time to progress. He's taking his first hit, probably in the first time since 2 years. But really, this is an organization that believes moving forward, this is the right guy they should have on the field.
Yeah, we'll see out there today. I don't know about tampering expectations, though. I think the expectations are going to be very high considering where they started. Let's get to our QB matchups today. There's some interesting ones, Matt, starting with this one.
Well, let's talk about it. Tua. He's looked great in practice. I expect you'll see a lot of rollouts to the left. They're showing a little throwback. Get ready for the throwback. And it makes sense on paper. Listen, they're coming off the bye. They're playing a team in the short week, the Rams, who just played on Monday Night Football. And they're not complicated on defense, the Rams aren't. They're talented, but they rush 6 or more, the second least in the NFL. So they're expecting that this will be a good game for Tua, and everybody's rooting for him.
Well, I'm certainly rooting for him, but I can't wait to see Cam Newton against Josh Allen. And what we're going to see old Cam Newton today. That's right. Look at him. Look how big, strong, powerful, design runs, scrambles. We're going to see it. Unfortunately, he wears a Buffalo Bill jersey. Josh Allen reminds me of a young Cam Newton. He is such an explosive player. He's the guy. Cam, you want to see what you used to look like? Watch Josh Allen. And I'm just telling you, it's going to be a big day. Pass the torch to the Buffalo Bills.
Man, I'm going to take mine to the state of Ohio. Take advantages of your opportunities. I'm talking to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. No Joe Mixon today for the Bengals. Man, they're going against Tannehill. These Titans bringing the #1 rushing attack led by King Henry to town. Hey, man, no field goals. We want first downs and touchdowns in Cincinnati. That's the only way I see the Bengals winning this game at home, boy. Big day for Joe. Touchdowns, Joe.
Boss, I'm going to go to Detroit. The Colts go to Detroit, and it is Gunslinger Appreciation Day. And I say that because you got Rivers and Stafford, and you know Rivers would be so excited coming off this bye if Mo Alley Cox is able to rejoin the team off of injury. He's one of those tight ends that can help. And also another tight end on the other side is T.J. Hawkinson, this gunslinger in Detroit, and Matt Stafford loves his tight end. 4 touchdowns this year. The tumbleweeds will be rolling in Detroit, fellas.
Oh, the tumbleweeds.
Time now for Seconds of Schefter. Take it away, Adam.
All right, Sam, despite developing situations this past week with the Giants, with the Chargers, and others, there were no positive player tests this morning, which means Week 8 is ready to roll on as scheduled. However, there was another positive test out in Denver. Assistant coach Ed Donatel will not coach today due to COVID protocols. Vic Fangio will take over the defense, and the Broncos will be without Ed Donatel, their defense coordinator, and Mike Munchak on the offensive side of the football. The Broncos will get back running back Phillip Lindsay, who is expected to play despite being listed as questionable, Sam.
Thanks, Adam. It's time for a Week 8 edition of You Got Moss. I knew that Rex was chosen today because he seemed super chipper before the show this morning, and that always means he's going to be on You Got Moss. What you got for us, Randy?
Well, Sam, I got my boy right here. You said how gibberish he looks today. Let's get it started. Week 8 nominees of You Got Moss. Let's look at the first play here. We start with the 6th grade Pop Warner football. The QB throws up the deep to Caleb Hudson, who makes the great grab and runs for the touchdown.
My goodness.
And I want y'all to take a look at his mom, because his mom knows my son going to be on.
The trade deadline looming this week on Tuesday. What's the very latest?
Well, good morning, Sam. And essentially, the New England Patriots are a team to watch here leading into Tuesday. If they lose today in Buffalo, maybe they become a seller. If they win today, maybe they buy. As for the Philadelphia Eagles, tonight, they were talking to teams about Zach Ertz. But once he suffered that injury, rules barred them from trading him, so they could no longer deal him against the rules. Similar with Deshaun Jackson. And anybody who wants to come by Alshon Jeffrey, the Eagles are open to listening. As for the New York Giants, they'd be willing to trade their wide receiver, Golden Tate, veteran wide receiver, and offensive lineman Kevin Zeitler. It would be very difficult to trade Evan Ingram because obviously they want to hold on to him. But anybody who's interested in a wide receiver like Tate or Zeitler, high-priced veterans, have at it. More.
But when you mention receivers, don't mention Deshaun Watson, the Houston Texans quarterback. He already lost DeAndre Hopkins, but they have 4 receivers, including Will Fuller, Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks, among those guys. And the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers are sitting there hoping for Fuller. I don't think he'll be the one to go, but I know this much. Deshaun Watson's never been 1-6 in his life before. He's not happy. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals, John Ross was the 9th pick in the 2017 draft. That's ahead of Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. On Friday, he made it known he wants to be traded. He's been non-productive there. He can still run in the 4.2s or 4.3s. Can they get anything for him? I doubt it. Don't look for him to be in uniform, certainly for the Cincinnati Bengals this day.
And here are some other names to watch in the trade deadline coming up. Ryan Kerrigan has requested a trade in Washington. Washington has told him and teams they won't deal him. Minnesota would be willing to listen to offers for their franchise safety, Anthony Harris. I think the Jets would be willing to trade anybody just about at this point in time, other than maybe Quinnen Williams. Avery Williamson is a linebacker who could draw some interest around the league, Mort.
Well, Adam, you mentioned the Jets, and the Jets are in Kansas City today to play the Chiefs and Le'Veon Bell, the running back that they released a couple weeks ago. Now, let's remember, that was a move made because of his contract next year, which had an $8 million injury guarantee. In a way, they've done Le'Veon Bell a favor. People want to call this a revenge game. Revenge for what? For sending them to the Super Bowl champion? He might go over and thank Adam Gase after this game. But Le'Veon Bell is there. And if they want to, as you know, they're trying to evaluate Sam Darnold down the stretch, but Sam's got to do it without Le'Veon Bell. He'll show them in a Chiefs uniform, Sam, what exactly he can do, or remind them what he can do.
Yeah, no doubt some motivation, some different approaches to it mentally, of course. But it's been 19 days since he was a New York Jet. Teddy, if you're Andy Reid, I think he had 6 carries against the Broncos, 39 yards. But if in this game, how do you think they'll use him?
Yeah, so he sort of got the rust off last week with those 6 carries, but you obviously have a motivated player in Le'Veon Bell, Sam, but he is going to show his team what he can do based on how motivated the play caller is. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, okay, Le'Veon, we are with you. We want you to show them and prove a point, so let's get you 3 touchdowns. If that's the sort of combination of motivation, Le'Veon's going to have a big day. But still, Le'Veon can do a lot of things. He's only 28 years old. I mean, this guy still has a lot of football left in him. I think we're going to see a lot against the Jets.
Man, Brew, you make a great point, and I love it. Listening to Chris Mortensen talk about Le'Veon Bell, like, he's got, Mort knows something. I think they're going to feature Andy Reid. You learn this as a coach growing up, that if somebody transferred schools or they were a different team or whatever, that guy is going to be super motivated. Don't kid yourself. They can say all week long that it's no big deal. Oh, yes, it is. And you're going to put him out probably as a captain, and you're going to feature this guy. I expect them to bring it.
You used to always make the guys the captain for the game.
Absolutely, and I saw it. I had an old football coach, Bob Mazie, taught me that a long, long time ago, and Andy knows that, and he knows Le'Veon. This is important to him. He never used him last week in the passing game. I think he's going to use him in the passing game this week. It'll also be interesting to see if he has a couple of long runs today, because in his entire time with the Jets, about a year and a half, 1 over 15 yards. He had 2 in his debut with the Chiefs, so already beat that really quickly. I'm still never going to get over the visual, though, of that graphic with Jets willing to trade anyone. Matt made a good analogy. He said it's like Scrabble.
And you just trade in all your letters.
Yeah.
Just give me some new
You'll
letters.
probably get something better. Still to come. Jets still looking for a win. It's about that time.